Hey guys, so we are back again with another reading, and this one is all about your spiritual gifts, aka the special gifts you have that maybe separate you from the crowd, distinguish you from others, that you're supposed to share with people as part of your spiritual destiny on this earth, or that allow you to connect with the divine. So we're going to get into all of that, all the gifts you guys could have, and let spirit take the reins on this reading. So I'm really excited to get into it, you guys. And we do have a beautiful selection of crystals and kind of your traditional pick a card setup. So if one has already caught your eye, feel free to skip ahead to that section and go right into that reading. But I'm also going to show you guys the numbers on each of the crystals. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. So I also want to mention to you guys that I do have my Patreon. I post a ton of videos over there. So if you guys want to check out more pick a cards, go ahead and check out that link in my bio and join us for the party over there. And yeah, I think that's all I have to mention to you guys. So if you need more time to decide, feel free to rewind, pause, take as much time as you need to make your mind up. But we're going to go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey pile 1, so if you guys picked this beautiful clear quartz crystal, this is going to be your reading. So your pick a card cards are last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind, and new moon in Sagittarius, focus on the positive. And then for tarot, we have Temperance, 9 of Swords, 9 of Cups, the Hermit, Page of Wands, and the World. So I feel like right away I'm getting such a positive, optimistic vibe from you guys. And I actually pulled all the cards before I flipped over the pick a cards. And when I saw Sag focus on the positive, I wasn't surprised at all because that's the vibe I'm getting. I feel like you guys have been through real pain with the 9 of Swords. Some of you guys, I feel, have been through such dark moments that it would have blown anyone else away. They could never have withstood some of the stuff you guys have been through and some of the stuff you guys have taken on. But it's like you guys have come out of it so positive. I think it's so funny that 9 of Swords is followed right after 9 of Cups. So it's almost like even in the moment when it was happening, you guys stayed positive. Like for a lot of people, they have to be out of the bad times, they have to be out of the dark times, and then they can find some optimism and be like, okay, so it's all okay, it worked out. But I feel like you guys are so optimistic and positive that you stay happy and joyful even when you're going through it. And I actually feel like that's, that is a very deep spiritual truth. Like a lot of people might not know how spiritually important that is. Like so many people who are alchemists or who do this spiritual work, that is like the number one truth you have to realize is staying positive and how our thoughts control our reality and our destiny. And I feel like you guys have done that from the jump because you guys have always been optimistic by nature. And it's funny because there's studies that have come out because I'm very into like health news and stuff like that. And there's a ton of studies about how optimism extends your life and how many people who live longer are optimists because genuinely that's how powerful it is that it can control your health outcomes. Like, isn't that crazy? Because, this health data that people look at, it's very factual. It's not like in the spiritual community, of course, we have our way of looking at things, and we don't necessarily always have to rely on facts. We can rely on ancient metaphysical stuff. But when it comes to the health people, they need everything like scientifically backed, study after study done against a placebo and a control group. And it's like, they have proven that optimists live longer. And so that's the thing is, there is so much value in like staying happy. And I feel like a big part of that is that you guys enjoy being in hermit mode. I feel like you guys enjoy your own company. You don't need to have other people around you to be happy. Like when other people are like upset about like, oh my God, I'm just so alone. You're probably like, ooh, can't relate. Because I love being around myself. I'm my favorite person. I always say that as a joke to people, but not to like people, it'd be kind of rude, but like to myself, I guess. I sound crazy that I'm now saying that I talk to myself, but like I feel like when you say like I'm my own best friend or like I love my jokes, I crack myself up, that's like the positive vibe I'm getting for you guys. Like I feel like you guys can amuse yourself, you guys have your interests, your little things that you enjoy doing. Maybe other people don't get it. Maybe they're like, why are you into that band? Or why are you into this like anime thing, or why are you into that TV show so much or something, or it's a book you like, or maybe you write your own book, maybe you write your own stuff, maybe you paint. But I feel like you guys have hobbies and interests that keep you busy, keep you happy, and it's like you just go into this little interior world you have that's very positive, very uplifting. I almost feel like some of you guys might have developed that as like a trauma thing, because a lot of you guys, I feel, might have come from difficult upbringings, is what I'm getting for so many of you. I do feel a sadness actually as I started pulling cards. um some of these cards I got, I just started feeling this immense sadness for some of you guys, which is interesting because like the message I also got was optimism from spirit, and then here I am like looking at your cards and feeling like genuine sadness and depression. And also just right now I started feeling pains in my heart. So I know you guys have had heartbreak. I know you guys have been through it. That's spirit's indication when, they give us pains in our heart. Thank you, spirit, for communicating that way. Just kidding. But like but it means that it was really painful, because we do feel that in our heart chakra, like when someone betrays us emotionally, treats us so badly. And this could be family, this could be relationship, this could be friends, it could be all of the above, it could have been all of it, because I feel like you guys have been through so much. But that we feel it in our heart chakra. Like when someone's been really horrible to me and I have to take a spiritual bath, I'm always like, oh God, I know where we're gonna feel it. And I get into that water, and there it is, lots of pain in my heart. And then I'll do like cleansing rituals over my heart and stuff. But it's like it's so funny how it's so localized, and we all know that, and that's why we say heartbreak, and his heart was broken. And again, scientific studies, they have found that like a lot of people who suffer from an intense breakup or something like that will have heart issues within the next few years. So that's true. That's really true. My grandfather actually died of a broken heart, is what they all said, and he had like a heart attack or something. And it was after my great grandmother, my great grandfather, great grandmother, she died, and giving birth to my grandmother, and then he died 2 years later. He had remarried, but he never got over my great grandmother, and they all said it was from a broken heart. So we all have known this like for the longest time, but it's backed up in spirituality that it's like our heart chakra. And I feel like you guys have had so much difficulty and pain and hardship and just sadness that you guys have had to deal with. And I feel like a lot of that would have overwhelmed other people, and you guys survived partially because you guys have this very happy, lighthearted way of dealing with things. You can't, sometimes people might say like, why don't you take this seriously? Or like, you don't get what's going on, or like, oh my God, you need to like really buckle down and like look at this seriously and stop joking around. But it's like, that's your way of healing. That's your way of moving through the pain. You realize that letting yourself go into a negative spiral isn't going to improve things. It's just going to make it worse. It's kind of like panicking when there's a life or death situation. You don't want to panic because that only makes it worse, right? You want to stay calm. And with really difficult situations, as much as we may want to go into that state of panic and kind of like down into being very depressed, that's actually not what you should do. You should do everything you can to feel uplifted, to feel happy, to watch a happy movie, to laugh. And I feel like you guys get that. I also feel like some of you guys might have international interests, or you guys are very open to like, I feel like you guys aren't as judgmental, I feel, as other people. Like you are open to different cultures, you're open to different types of people. You might have a very assorted friend group of like lots of people. I'm getting Aquarius vibes. Some of you guys might be Aquarius or something, but it's like, I feel like if people met some of your friends, they'd be like, wait, you hang out with them and them? Or like you hang out with, and you might have friends that you're like, I can't introduce them, they won't get along, they won't vibe at all. But I get along with both of them. Like I get along with everyone, but I could never let my friend groups mix, because I feel like you guys have this very diverse, open view of seeing the best in people. And I feel like that's another like spiritual point in your favor, is that you're very open. So other people have a very closed off mindset, because I think openness transcends like if we're open in one area, usually we're open in another. And I feel like you guys, if someone tells you like, oh, you should try Reiki healing, or you should watch a pick a card video, or you should read this book, you're going to be open to it. You're not going to be closed off if it's something you never heard of. Or like, you should try this kind of Eastern medicine, or you should try this old Scandinavian medicine. You're going to be like, okay, I'll try it. Like, and I feel like that's another thing that has brought you through, is because your brain is very open to experiences. You're very open to like whatever spirit brings you. And I feel like because of that, you've kind of navigated and found the right people, and found people to help you, and found people that are on your side and really like you. And yeah, I think that it also keeps your mind fresh and in this like Page of Wands energy, where you're very excited about things. You're very open. When you like something, you love it. You're not someone who's like, yeah, it's okay, I guess. And like very bored energy, like boring type person. You're very fun, lighthearted, excitable. I feel like if someone brings you something you like, you'd be like, oh my God, I love it. I'm so happy. And that, like I said, you're an energy creator. You're a vibe maker. You set the party. If people like are having a party, they're probably like, I really hope pile one comes. Please let them come, because you're going to make it fun just because you're optimistic. You're funny. You're like, you're joyful. I feel like you guys spend a lot of time by yourself, though, a lot of you maybe, because I feel like you guys just enjoy your own company, and like that joy isn't dependent on anyone else. It's not like you need someone else around you to feel it. So let's get more cards. So we got protection, manifestation, family, and animals. So when I pulled out the family card, I felt a lot of pain. And I feel like some of you guys might have had pain from your family that has caused this like alchemy knowledge that you guys developed, where you kind of had to learn how to take a really sad situation and make it positive, and how to take a really heartbreaking thing that for someone else would rip them apart and see the good in it. You know what I mean? And not that you're blinding yourself and being like, everything's awesome when the house is on fire, but you try to see positivity. You try to keep yourself high vibe. And I feel like that's such an advantage. And you guys, I also feel like for some of you guys with that card, you might be connected to your soul tribe on the other side very strongly, because we did get protection. And I feel like you guys just feel very divinely protected. You feel like you're a spiritually more advanced soul, but it's interesting. I don't want to say old soul, because you still feel very youthful, but I would say you're an old soul. When you meet an older person and they're almost like a little kid, like I think people have said that, like at a certain old age, you revert into being a kid. And like if you go to a nursing home, a lot of them will even act like kids, or they'll be kind of childish. That's kind of like you guys. I feel like you guys have been around the block, spiritually speaking. So you guys have almost gotten back into that cycle of youth again, because actually that's kind of how the zodiac wheel works, is like supposedly Aries is the newborn sign, the baby, the fresh first house, and then Pisces is the 12th house, oldest sign, kind of like the old woman of the zodiac. And that's kind of you guys, but it's funny because once we tick from the 12th house, it's just, last degree of Pisces into Aries, you're going from old to young. And that's kind of the vibe. Like you guys might be Pisces Aries mixes, or have like combinations of signs. It doesn't matter what sign you guys are though, but it's like I'm getting that Pisces Aries cusp, where it's like you have so much depth and wisdom, but you also have this incredible enthusiasm, this incredible openness and like vibe of like, I want to try everything. I'm so excited. And I feel like you guys are very spiritually connected. I feel like you have a team on the other side that really does look out for you, really does protect you guys, really does care very strongly what you guys have going on. And I feel like also you're very karmically protected. So if you've had people who have been really cruel to you and you're like, oh wow, it's really unfair they didn't get their karma, they will. They definitely will. They have it coming, because I feel like your team doesn't play. They are very protective of you guys. They very much look after you guys, and don't let someone just slip through the cracks and like, oh well, we'll just let it slide. No, they are very much looking out for you guys. And I feel like because you guys are such sweet souls, they ramp up the protection even more. Like they're like, okay, we have to really be like the bodyguard for these kids. I'm seeing that movie, that movie First Kid from like the 90s where that there was like a little kid who was like the son of the president and they hired Sinbad to protect him. And I'm thinking of that. Like it's almost like, you know, when you have like a really like valuable little kid and you're like, okay, we have to get him the absolute best protection because he's a kid, he's so trusting, he's so innocent, he's so joyful that like he's not even going to be as aware as like an adult. So we have to really get the best bodyguard. And that's kind of like you guys. Like I feel like your trust, your openness, your beauty just endears you even more to the other side. And I feel like it also brings animals to you. I feel like you guys are that pile that animals are just going to run up to you. You probably have friends who are like, "Oh, like don't be offended. My cat doesn't like anyone. He'll just go off in his corner when you come in." And you're like, "Okay." And you go in and the cat like walks right over to you. Or same with their dog, like, "Oh, my dog hates everyone. I'm sorry. He's probably going to be really aggressive." And then the dog just comes up and is like just so sweet to you. And I feel like that kind of a thing would happen to you guys because I feel like animals are drawn to your sweetheart and your heart chakra because that's one thing that animals can read very strongly is someone's heart chakra. So again, with the heart chakra energy, you guys have a very open heart chakra and that keeps coming up for me. So yeah, your heart chakra, your heart energy is just so beautiful. You have so much love to give. And I also feel like because of all these things, you guys are great master manifestors. So again, your team is very active. Your team is very much, they're willing to put in overtime. They're willing to work extra hard. They're willing to go the extra mile for you guys. So they are like, when you ask for something, they're probably like, okay, put it on rush delivery. You know how like, it's like if you are a frequent shopper at a certain business or something, you can kind of either like request perks or you'll get like free shipping or you'll get like special discounts. I feel like that's like you guys. Like it's like you're like you get like extra perks from your spiritual team because you guys are so sweet and so open and have so much good karma in your bank that that you guys can like request whatever you want. So it might take someone else a longer time, but for you, like they'll definitely make that happen quick. You know what I mean? Quicker than other teams would. So let's get more cards, you guys. We got the Camel Boy, small steps, asking for help. The Phoenix, a resurrection, surrender to change. The Sun Dancer is joyful activity, celebration of life, abundance. So I do feel like I was saying, you guys, you know, you're good at asking for help from your team. You might call on them or ask them or just speak out loud to them sometimes because I feel like a lot of you guys are very spiritually in tune. So you might say stuff like, you know, out loud, like, oh, please help me get some money or something, or please help me find some friends, or whatever you need in that moment. And I feel like your team is always around listening. They like that you like talk to them because, you know, our guides and stuff, they want us to talk to them. So the more you do, the better it is. Or you might pray, you might meditate or whatever, but I feel like you guys actually ask them a lot of times. And if you don't, you should be, because like they're around listening, they want to help you, but part of like spiritual law, free will and stuff is like you kind of have to ask for their help and invoke them for them to help. They will help us and they can help us, especially in like extraordinary circumstances. But if you directly say what you want from them, they really like that direction. You know, it's kind of like when you have a friend who's like, I want something for my birthday, but I'm not going to tell you. You have to guess and figure it out. And you're like, okay, I think you were mentioning a watch. Like you have no idea. Whereas you have a friend maybe who's like, okay, I want this watch, by the way. Is that okay? Can I have that? And you're like, yeah, I'll go buy it. Like, awesome. That's easy. You know, so they want to give to us, but they want that, like, it helps them if we ask. So I feel like a lot of you guys do that. And if you don't, you should. Again, I'm seeing someone dance around, like just be very joyful. And we got the Sun Dancer. So maybe you guys have a dancing practice, which is so great for creating that positive energy. Or I could see people just blasting music and kind of singing to themselves and just having a blast by themselves. Again, I feel like you guys you're just a good vibe. You just make yourself have fun. You just make yourself have a good time. And even if you're alone or even if you're having like a quiet night in, you're actually having a really fun time. I feel like a lot of you guys are very deeply connected to music and you might sing or have a lovely singing voice or something. There is, you know, you can spiritually cleanse a room by singing. There's a lot of very positive spiritual and just even physical practices. Like it activates your vagus nerve from singing loudly. And I feel like a lot of you guys just intuitively know that. And you just sing and you're just joyful and you create the vibe in a room because you'll like play your favorite song and just sing along loud to it. And yeah, it's just like a positivity when you enter the room. I'm hearing that line from TikTok, the party don't stop till I walk in or whatever. I feel like that is true for you guys. And not even if you're trying to have like a quiet night, there's just something happy about your vibe, your energy. There's a joy there, and other people are lacking that. You guys think like, oh, everyone is like that, right? Everyone is goofy when they're alone, or everyone has fun. No, not everyone. Like a lot of people are boring. A lot of people don't have this kind of vibe you guys have. So people are so grateful when you come to their party or are around them because there's a happy, uplifting quality to your presence. So again, with the Phoenix, you guys have been through a lot of dark stuff, but you guys keep it moving and stay positive, and you understand the spiritual principle that any death is a rebirth. Anything, and this is something I love to say, everything works for my benefit. Everything works for my best outcome, or I don't know the exact phrase I say, but I say it a lot. But everything is working for my favor. Everything is working for my highest good. That's what I say. So it's like you guys get that like, yeah, the really frustrating thing that happens, the absolute thing that seems like the end of the world, that like, oh my God, I failed that test. You understand that principle of like, it's for my best good. I'm not, there's a reason for it. And I feel like that's such a wise thing. That's actually a very Pisces thing. That's why a lot of people are like, say about Pisces, like, oh, they're too chill and stuff. But it's because that's a spiritual truth. And we don't want to like take life just boringly though. You can be a very low vibrational Pisces who just kind of drifts through life and like never really tries. And that's not what you should be doing. But if you try hard at something and it doesn't work out, you understand that like, okay, it's for a reason. Either I'm going to try again or I'm going to move on, but I know it's for my blessing. It's for a good thing. There's divine timing or whatever is happening. So I love that about you guys. I think there's so much wisdom with you guys. And I love that I'm just getting such Pisces energy of the wisdom and kind of chillness combined with Aries fire and enthusiasm and all the like energy they pour towards things. So I love that. So we also got stranger, curiosity, the crossing, initiation, and dances on one foot. So a lot of 9 energy here with the crossing and dances on one foot. And then we have 8 as well. So 9 cards are really about, or the number 9 are really about endings and kind of that final moment before things switch over. And I feel like with you guys, it's like you guys so understand that spiritual principle that things have to end before the new comes in, and that situations that may seem horrible and unending and like just like you can't get out of it, there's always an option. There's always a way out. It can always end and it can always switch up. And I feel like that might be happening for some of you guys in your life. I didn't even mention one of the things said abundance, and that's also coming to mind because 9 can also, and 8 for sure, can indicate abundance. So I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be very well off because of your mentality. I actually feel like a lot of you guys are very attractive to the opposite sex or whatever sex you're into, because of this, because you guys are so optimistic and positive and happy that you just can you just draw people in like flies. Like people are just so attracted to you. They find you to be so irresistible because you're always that person who's like smiling and you make them feel really good and positive. What's coming to mind is I think I saw some interview of like Elsa Pataki and she was asked about Chris Hemsworth and she said something like, I think he likes me because I'm just really positive all the time. And everyone was like expecting her to say some crazy answer because it's like, how did you land Chris Hemsworth? And she was like, oh, I just think it's because I'm really positive and he likes my energy. But that's true. Being positive is so attractive. Like someone who genuinely has a smile, puts on a good, happy attitude, that people want to be around it. People are drawn to it. People want to wrap themselves in that energy. So I feel like you guys might marry someone really wealthy or make your own wealth, because you guys might be able to attract, again, you guys can attract whatever you want, I feel. But yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys might be wealthy, and there is that karmic payback element also coming through. And then we have more dancing energy. So again, I feel like you guys, some of you guys really do dance, and you have a beautiful way of moving your body. You have a very beautiful movements, and like people might see you dancing and just be like, oh, they seem so joyful, they seem so happy. So I feel like some of you guys who aren't dancing, you should make a practice and just dance around to your favorite song. Like, I feel like you guys listen to music all the time anyway, so just add some dancing in, just add a little arm movements and hip movements and leg lifts or something, I don't know. So just add some dancing in. But again, with stranger curiosity, you guys are so curious, open. You guys are very, I feel like, curious about different things in the world, different cultures. You want to like really and you know, there was a lot of Sagittarius energy, so you guys might be travelers. You might be someone who wants to explore and wants to travel to different countries and try different cuisines. And if you are, I feel like you guys will definitely be able to experience that in this life. If you're like, oh, I always dreamed of going to that country, but I can't afford it, I feel like you guys will have that opportunity. But I feel like a lot of you guys anyway, just maybe through the internet or different things, you learn about different cultures, you keep yourself open. And I love that about you. You guys aren't the type who's like judgmental of like, oh, this person came from there, or this person has this background, so they're like this. You guys understand kind of the special beauty of each human soul and all the different human experiences that make this world such a incredible place. Is like how we all have different cultures and we all have different things, and you know, there's different kinds of food you can eat that one culture would probably never cook something that another culture might cook, and like they both taste good in their different ways, you know. So I feel like there's just this broadness, there's this openness, there's this excitability where you're a yes person. Like if someone's like, do you want to go try this street food in this city halfway across the world, you'll be like, yes. And if they're like, do you want to go over here and try this, you'd say yes. Like you just say, you're just a yes sayer. You say yes to everything. And so final cards we got are Oracle cards, Author, and Infinite Abundance. Wow. So I feel like you guys, again, with the lots of money coming in, money rain for you guys, it feels like you guys are going to make some good amount of money or marry someone who has some money. But I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be doing well because of this joyful nature, this happy positivity. You might, one warning I would give you guys is that when you have this kind of vibe, there can be vulture type people that, you know, they want to feed off this energy and they want to kind of stand in your light and like leech off of it because they don't have this kind of light themselves. They can't make it for themselves. So when they see you just in this beautiful positivity partially for themselves, they want that, and they don't understand that like spiritually you have to give back. You can't just take. It would be like taking money and just never, you know, taking items from a store and never paying, or taking, like using an employee and never paying them, you know. We have to like pay things back, and I feel like you've had people around you that have never realized that. But I feel like you guys are going to figure that out with time, and as you get older, some of you guys are going to realize that relationships need to be transactional. You need to get back what you give. So you're not some martyr that just needs to just give everything away, and that you do deserve to have it returned to you. This might be why some of you guys go in hermit mode, is because you guys get drained so easily, and you're just like, it's because you guys, some of you guys are surrounded by people who, especially I feel like if someone's going through a hard time or someone's going through difficulty, they will kind of come to you and just like want to stand in your light and pull your light away to get some for themselves. And so you might have really attracted people who are users, or people who, and they're not doing it on purpose, but you need to put up boundaries, some of you guys, and you need to learn to say no. And you need to learn that you deserve to have your same tribe, and you need to be surrounded by people who also give to you. They don't have to have the same spiritual gift as you. They don't have to have the same really positive, kind of chaotic Sagittarius, Aries, Pisces vibe, whatever else, other cards. There's a lot of fire energy, definitely could be Leo as well. But Leo is good at the self-worth. I'll say that about them. But I feel like they might not reciprocate in the same way, right? We all have different spiritual gifts, but they do need to be giving back to you guys. They do need to be, you need to be leaving your interactions feeling good, feeling positive, feeling uplifted, feeling happy. And if someone's taking that away from you, then that's a no. That's your guide saying, cut it out. That's it. So I feel like you guys will start listening to that when you're older. You'll listen to that intuition and be like, oh, okay, let me just remove this person right off the jump rather than waiting for some crash and burn scenario. Because I feel like some of you guys, when you go to remove your energy, people get mad. They're like, how dare you? Because they're very, like, they're almost addicted and hooked to you guys because so many of you guys are so, like I said, you're attractive. This makes you very attractive. People might fall in love with you, honestly, and it might be kind of over the top, like someone who's suddenly possessive of you. And like, you know, if you're a girl, maybe like you go out to the bar with like a guy friend and he's not letting other guys talk to you and stuff. And you're like, we're friends. Like, what the heck? I feel like you might have people who are possessive of you and who are like someone who wants to just take. And it's like that stuff they need to figure out on their spiritual realm and they'll get karma for that. But whether they're doing it on purpose, you know, they'll still get karma for it. But it's like, I feel that you guys, once you come into the energy of knowing you deserve the best and knowing that you only want to be surrounded by high vibe people, you'll start manifesting that money. You'll start seeing the money come in, the abundance come in, the opportunities come in, and you will call in your self-worth and have it be paid back to you in monetary. Some of you guys, like I said, you have creative pursuits, so it could be writing. I feel like you guys would be great writers because I feel like who wouldn't want to tap into this vibe? I also feel like because you guys have lived kind of interesting lives and you're so open, and I feel like you guys are that type of person that just notices everything. Like you're very curious about the world and like you would just look deeply into a situation that someone else might look at and be like, oh, that's cool, like whatever. And you're looking in at like the deep psychology, you're looking in at like all the motives, you're paying attention to like the buttons on the dress and the colors. And I feel like you guys would make awesome writers because you guys notice so much detail about life. Or you might be other forms of art like painting or something, but I feel like you guys are very creative. And then maybe some of you guys are good channelers. Maybe you guys are good at channeling oracle cards. Again, you're so connected to your little tribe on the other side. I wouldn't be surprised if they come through during your readings and really direct and guide them, and that you guys would be awesome at this kind of work. So maybe some of you guys already do that. I don't know. And it might be very accurate. Maybe you're thinking of starting a YouTube or something. I would probably subscribe. I would probably really like this vibe. But yeah, I think you guys are so positive. I love you guys, pile one. Thanks for letting me tune into this energy. It's like a little shot of caffeine. So I love it. So thank you guys so much. I'm sending so much love in your direction. Make sure to drop it in the comments if it resonated. I love hearing your thoughts, your stories, and everything, and give it a big thumbs up as well. And if you guys want to check out my Patreon, link is in my bio. So make sure to check that out if you want to see more videos. And I will be back very soon here for another reading. So make sure you're subscribed over here. So with that being said, I'm sending you guys lots of love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye. Hey Pile 2, so if you guys picked this Celestite crystal, this is going to be your reading, one of my faves. So let's get into your cards. You guys picked New Moon in Cancer, then you got the Lovers, Hanged Man, the Tower, Three of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and Knight of Swords. So first of all, with the Lovers coming out the top, I feel like you guys have a very deep divine connection to someone, maybe on the astral plane or in this physical realm, and I do feel like that confers you a lot of protection, and maybe that their guides are looking out for you, or they were a twin flame or soulmate or something, or they inspired you, but they're just coming through in this reading. And I do feel that you're connected to them and you do hang out with them on the astral plane and they give you some protection, and that is like a spiritual gift for you guys. But let's get into some of your kind of innate gifts, and then we'll talk about this person throughout the reading. But I do feel like you guys are really good at looking at situations from kind of a very, I want to say dispassionate, like kind of analyzing the facts of a situation. I feel like a lot of you guys are very smart, highly intelligent. With the Knight of Swords and the Hanged Man, I feel like you look at situations that other people might not be able to see it in the same way. Like I feel like you guys have a very intelligent mind. And I feel like the way you guys take in information and stuff, it's like your brain works really quick, it works really fast, and also like you have an unconventional take on it. You're not someone who rushes to judgment and suddenly decides like that's it, that person is guilty, or like that person is in the right, that person is in the wrong. You guys are very slow and steady with kind of making your mind up about, about the facts of a situation. Your mind moves fast, but you tend to withhold judgment until like the last moment, if that makes sense. I also feel like you guys are open to like hearing you're wrong, or open to learning new things, whereas other people I feel like can get very rooted in like their opinions, their thoughts, their ideas. I feel like a lot of you guys tend to be like open to like, okay, actually that's some new information, I never heard that. And I feel like that has given you guys a real advantage for moving through this world, because a lot of people, they just take information at face value. You guys seem kind of skeptical. Like I feel like you guys are that type that is like, I need extra facts, or I need some proof. You guys might not have even been open to watching picket cards at first. I feel like you might have been like, what are these? That's crazy. And then you listen to a couple and maybe they resonated and you started being open. But I feel like you guys would be my skeptics. You guys would be the ones that like, you need to have those facts. You're not just going to be that person that's like gullible that, is going to buy into anything. So I feel that, yeah, there's like a lot of logic coming through with your mentality. I feel like you guys are highly intelligent, and you guys just, your brain is like working overtime compared to a lot of other people's. I feel like you guys take in a lot of information. I'm getting kind of like Mercury vibes. So Gemini, Virgo, other earth signs as well, like Capricorn. I feel like you guys seem like you're very rooted in reality, grounded down to earth. Like you're not someone whose head is in the clouds and constantly imagining, scenarios that are never going to come true. I feel like you guys tend to be very kind of logically based, you know what I mean? And you don't like to get overly emotional about a situation, which is funny because we got Moon in Cancer, which is kind of emotional. But the vibe I'm getting from you guys is actually that you are very much someone who learns all about a situation before making your mind up. And I feel like that has served you very well in life. You're not someone who's like way too emotional and lets the emotion of a situation cloud your judgment. With the Three of Cups, I feel like you guys could have a good friend group that you like and enjoy going out with. It seems like, I feel like you guys have like your tribe that you're close to, and you're not even that open to like other people, to be honest. Like you're not just looking to hang out with anyone. It's almost like exclusive vibes I keep getting for everything. Like it's like, you're hard to win over in every way. Like when it comes to friends, you're hard to win over. When it comes to convincing you of some information, you're hard to win over. You're not just gonna like go along with the crowd and listen to what everyone else is saying and listen to like, yeah, but Sarah said it's really cool. You're like, why would I care what Sarah thinks? Like, or well, Will said that like he double checked the math. Okay, well, I'm gonna double check it too. Like I feel that, yeah, you guys are very confident in your own judgment, and I feel like because of that, when people actually come in and kind of pass your test, they're good. That they are correct. Like I'm reminded of someone in my life who was like this, and I'm very the opposite. Like I'm very like open to anyone and like, hi, oh blah blah, and I pretty much like most people, with a few exceptions. Definitely. I mean, definitely, actually. I shouldn't say I like everyone, but I'm pretty open. And it took me a while to really trust my judgment. And with this person in my life, they're the total opposite. And they'll be like, I don't like that person because they did something small. And I used to be like, oh my God, you're so judgmental. Why would you say that? But it was so funny because everything they pointed out ended up being true. Like everything they would say about like, I don't know, I just don't like that she said that. And I'd be like, oh, you're so judgmental. I can't believe it. They would be right. That person was shady, even though it was like a small thing. They're a Scorpio, unsurprisingly, such Scorpio vibes with that whole vibe. And you guys could be Scorpios for sure. But it seems like you guys have a little bit of a wall up around you of protection. And I feel like that served you really well, because in retrospect, that was one of the things that made me be like, I need to listen more to these messages I'm getting rather than blocking them out and trying just to be friendly because I want everyone to be getting along. So I just kind of put on a happy face and be like, oh, it's fine. no, like it's so good to be empowered in the energy of like, I will not accept that. I will not accept bad behavior. And if you don't come correct, on to the next. And I feel like you guys have figured that out in multiple aspects of life. Like when it comes to friends, check. Probably when it comes to relationships, check. Because you probably already are connected to this person. So you're not settling for like the, Joe Schmo that comes up and like has a cheesy pickup line. Like you have no need to. And in general, I feel like in life, if someone tells you some crazy fact, you might be like, oh, really? Do you have the like documents about that? And where did you see that? Like, I feel that all along the way, you guys are good about verifying everything and gathering your facts and making sure all your, like, what is it? You cross your T's and dot your I's or something like that. You know what I mean? Everything is taken care of. Everything, like all the details are in place. So yeah. So we also got commitment. So your lover coming through right again. We got career, courage, justice, and lighten your load. So because of this, like I feel that you guys would make great lawyers, or you guys would be amazing at like laying down the law with people. Like this person I was talking about who's a Scorpio, they would be an amazing lawyer. And whenever you need help in an argument, they're the person you call because they will come right over, and their facts are on freaking point. Like they keep track of everything in their head and they know every single detail. And I think I'm good at like arguing and stuff, but when it comes to certain like facts and stuff, I'll be like, I think it was that, and I'm a Pisces, so sometimes I'll trip over my words. But when you have that Scorpio, ancient Mars energy fighting on your side, it's like that is unstoppable. And I feel like you guys verbally can really like lay it on down. You know what I mean? When I see someone with like a bunch of Scorpio placements in my chart, I'm like, oh my God, not arguing with that person. And I love Scorpios. I have so many Scorpios in my life because I'm a Pisces, duh. We're like, we just get along, we vibe. But when I see someone with a lot of Scorpio placements, especially Scorpio Mars, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not getting on their bad side. A great example of that is if you watch The Real Housewives, Bethany Frankel has like a big Scorpio stellium if you look at her chart, which I think is so unsurprising. And a bunch of other people that are like famous arguers and always have a quick comeback, that's so common for Scorpio because they know exactly what to say, and part of that is because they're psychic, and then they have the ancient Mars energy and they're not afraid to kind of let it out. Like a Pisces might be psychic, but they're also going to be kind of like trying to care for everyone's feelings and stuff, not a Scorpio. And that's why I love Scorpios, is like they come in with such fire, such energy. And even if you're not a Scorpio, that's just what I'm getting, is like when you want to like, I don't want to say eviscerate, but that's what's coming to mind. I feel like you can eviscerate someone in an argument. I feel like you guys know exactly what to say, and you also fight on the side of justice, because that's something that is really, in my experience as well, Scorpios don't like unjust situations and they'll throw down if they see that. So I just keep getting that you guys are that person you want on your side when you're in an argument, or when you have to go head to head, or when someone's being mistreated. I feel like you guys will step in and be like, excuse me, what did you just say to that person? No, wait, say it again. Okay, so you just said this, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you guys are on point verbally, and I really want to give that kudos to you guys, because I feel like sometimes you're just like, oh, like you don't realize how important that is, and also what a strength that is, because like you help other people lighten their load, is what I'm hearing. You guys are an asset to the people around you, and if someone, there's a lot of people that don't know how to speak up for themselves. Maybe they're shy, or they just don't have their verbal skills worked out or whatever, and you guys are that person that's unafraid to rush in and put yourself at risk to stand up for them, and unafraid to, like, if the crowd turns against you, so what? I don't care. You guys are connected to your soulmate with this lover's commitment thing, so you don't really care if like people don't like you. You have your friends worked out, so you're connected to them, and you're not looking for like a popularity contest. You're not looking to be Miss Congeniality. So if someone doesn't like you, you don't care, and you're willing to take the brunt of that heat. You guys have a lot of courage. I feel like you're that person that, like, in class, there would always be like, one person who, I'm thinking of one girl in my class who was really argumentative with the teacher, and she'd always like argue about literally everything, but verbally she would be on point, and she would just randomly start arguments about like, I don't understand why we have to do this book project because the book was assigned in blah blah blah, and to me I think it's out of date, and we shouldn't have to be reading a book that doesn't even apply to the current era whatsoever, and they didn't have smartphones and blah blah blah. Like, you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff, and we'd always be like, oh my God. But she made some valid points. And sometimes the teacher would switch things up, and it benefited all of us that she didn't care at all. She was willing to go argue, and it's like, I feel like sometimes that person in a society, people can really get angry about them. Like, why are you always mad? Why are you talking about this? Why are you being so negative? But we need that person to come in and be like the truth teller and say like, no, this is messed up. This is janked up and it needs to end. And I feel like you guys do that, and you're not afraid if people don't like you because of it, or if people are mad at you, or people have something nasty to say, you'll say something nasty back. So there's no fear going on. There's a lot of courage. I definitely feel it's interesting. I'm getting a lot of elements coming through. So far, I've gotten earth, I've gotten air, but I'm also getting a lot of fire and a lot of water too as well, because I feel like you guys are very intuitive. And I feel like that's a gift for you guys, is that when to, what to say. You can intuitively sense kind of vibes from people, and also like, okay, I'm going to focus on this part of this subject. I'm not going to necessarily talk about that. There's a lot of like big brain energy is what I want to say. Like, you guys just, yeah, like, you know how to analyze the situation and kind of see the holes and see the strengths and see where the weakness is, and see like, so that's why I say you guys would make a good lawyer. You guys would be good at like analyzing a case and seeing holes and seeing flaws. And you guys, I feel like whatever career you do, you're going to do super well, because I feel that you're so smart, and this is exactly the kind of energy that I'm sure a lot of employers would want. Maybe not a toxic employer, because you guys would be that employee that's like, no, actually we are going to take our lunch break off, and yeah, you still need to pay us for that. Yeah. And Billy worked overtime last week, and he worked several hours overtime, and he didn't even see that in his paycheck. So when are you going to send that paycheck out? Because Billy is entitled to that under state law statute number 705. Like, I feel like you guys would do that. And I love that for you guys. I love that for all of us, because we all benefit from that. So we also got the Metal King, discipline, armor, boundaries, the High Lady of love and compassion, reverence, kindness, consideration, the Queen of the light, illumination, enlightenment, celebration, and finally the Word Lord, communication, praise, dishonesty. So Spirit coming through yet again to point out y'all are good communicators. You guys are good at thinking things through, and you might even have a really large vocabulary. Like, a lot of the words I feel like that have been coming up for me have been like, usually I try not to use super wordy language or whatever, but I feel like you guys have a super large vocabulary, and you guys are you might even speak multiple languages or something, but I feel like you guys are good at languages. Definitely Gemini vibes for sure, but also a little Virgo. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of astrology coming through. But what I love about this is you guys have such discipline, armor, boundaries. You're tough, you're strong, but you're not, it's motivated from a place of love and compassion. And so it's like you combine this vibe, the Metal King, who's like all tough and he's just got a lot of boundaries and he's super like not the one you want to mess with like these vibes of these two like little angels who are just so sweet. And so it's like, people might see this on the outside and they might think like, oh, she's such a jerk, or like he's just such a, he's so annoying, he's so difficult to deal with. And I feel like they don't realize that that's motivated from you guys being very compassionate, very concerned with fairness. You don't want to see unfairness. That really irritates you guys in particular. Also Libra vibes coming through with that. Every Libra I know is like obsessed with fairness, and I feel like that's you guys. Like, you don't want to see someone getting more pay than someone else for some stupid reason, or because of nepotism, or because of some weird little preference that the boss has, or like, you guys are all about everyone being treated fairly and equitably, and also about everyone having like being treated with kindness to a certain extent. Like, you're not maybe gonna go easy on everyone, but you are very concerned with like making sure that at the end of the day you want to see everyone doing right, everyone doing okay, and there's a lot of like love in your heart. And I feel like some of you guys, that would actually make sense for Cancer, because Cancer is the crab, aka on the outside it has these really tough pinchers, and it seems like almost if you saw a crab, like you would be like, oh my god, if it was a giant crab or something. They're actually terrifying when they're only like not terrifying because they're really small, but like the actual shell of a crab and stuff, imagine if it was blown up to like 6 feet across. Like I would, there's nothing scarier. It would be horrifying, because you can't break through that shell or whatever. Um, Oh my God, that was just a horrible image that entered my mind. But so the thing is, they're really tough on the outside, but on the inside, they have that little soft, delicious, let's be honest, crab meat. And so that's the thing, is you guys do have a tough exterior, but on the inside, you're all kind of ooey gooey. And like, you don't really show that to a lot of people. Probably your twin flame knows, because you guys, I feel, even if you haven't met them and you're not with them on this side, which you might be married to them or something. And I feel like a lot of you guys will reunite with your person in this lifetime, and be with them or whatever. But even if you're not, or you're in separation with them or whatever, I feel like you get a lot of support from them on the astral plane, and they know you, that you guys like talk. So they know who you are, and they know how sweet and soft and like loving you are, but you don't show that to everyone. So a lot of people might think like, oh, they're just they're always arguing with our boss. And it's like they don't even appreciate the fact that it's because you argued with the boss that everyone got the Christmas party where they gave you guys like the bonuses. And that if it wasn't for you, that never would have happened. And you guys would never have gotten an additional few days off work after the holidays because you went in and like laid down the law. So it's like a lot of people take this for granted from you. Like they're not even appreciative. They're not even like, oh, thank you so much for increasing my salary. They're just like, oh, she's arguing again. There it goes. Like that might be something that happened for some of you guys, where people are like, accuse you of just being like argumentative or always complaining or always being negative. And it's like they don't even recognize that it's people like you that have changed things and made them better for everyone. Because like how it was back in like the 1600s was like serfs being exploited, and no one, it was like there was a ruling class, and no one had any ability to make their own money unless they were born into it and stuff like that. So, it was super unfair pretty much all over the world, I think. And so it's like, it's people who, said like, this is wrong. This situation is wrong. And they weren't popular at the time. No one likes to be in the energy of having to like fight. And people might see that and be like, especially people who are able to be in just kind of, some people have different destinies. Some people are supposed to be spending this lifetime in like a Venus, very sweet, loving energy and just chilling. And some people are supposed to have a destiny this lifetime of like fighting and pushing things forward. And I feel like that's a lot of you guys. I feel like you guys, and you're not afraid of that. That's not a bad thing to you. You don't mind putting on that mantle and putting on your armor and going in, because like if I don't do it, no one else is going to be able to handle this. And so it's like, I feel like that's a big spiritual purpose for you guys, and it is a gift you have, that also you're able to not be swept away by other people's moods, because that's something a lot of water signs going to have, is like someone is upset around them or in a bad mood, and they just kind of like take that on, and they get all depressed and they're upset, and you guys just brush it off. It doesn't get to you, which I love. So we also got deep quiet meditation and stillness, covenant, sacred contract, netcaster, preparations come to fruition, and caterpillar. So opportunity. So I feel like, yeah, you guys are good at creating kind of like preparing things, lining things up. Like I said, you have a great mind. You're great at like all the little details and stuff. Another soul contract, lovers kind of card with covenant, so sacred contract. But I also feel like this might be talking about that like life purpose that I feel like you guys have, to help others with your fearless energy of like fire and just breaking in and being like, this ends now, I'm standing up for these people or whatever. And I also feel like you guys, you don't have that much of an ego. And I think that's something that also comes through, is like, people, again, they might misjudge you. They might think, oh, you have such an ego, and that's why you're arguing with the boss, and that's why you think you care so much about like this thing going on, and you just have to argue, and you're so egotistical. And again, they misjudge you because it's not about that for you. You don't care about ego. You care about fairness and justice. And what you don't like is other people who have an ego and who think they're better than everyone, and so they're going to misuse someone. They're going to be like, oh, it's fine if I steal part of this person's paycheck, because they're not going to notice. They're really bad at math. They're not even educated, and they won't know. So I'm just going to take like, I'll like skim 10% off every month, and they won't notice. Like, that's the kind of stuff that irritates you so much, and you're going to fight, and you are not going to let someone think that they're like the king and everyone else is the peasant, and that it's okay for them to treat people like dirt. So I think, yeah, you guys don't have much of an ego, and I just want to mention that for you guys. Um, but yeah, I feel like, again, with opportunity, you guys are going to probably be very wealthy as a result of this, because you are going to be rewarded from spirit. Because it's like, you know, being a lawyer and stuff, I used to work in law, and I really seriously considered becoming a lawyer. And I actually really enjoyed that work and that fight. But to me, it was just too draining as a Pisces. Like, it's just too draining to fight all the time. But I loved the work, and I really respect people that have the energy and the wherewithal to go into that every day, to go into work every day knowing they're going to have to fight and argue with people. Like, that's very daunting. And the people who can really do it, I mean, who are doing it on the side of good, who really are improving the world by fighting for injustice, have a lot of my respect. I mean, my utmost respect. Like, people that are, there's different causes that I really care about, not going to list them off, but like, it's like, I think that's so important. The people that are willing to withstand, knowing that that's part of law, is like, you have to argue, you have to go in, and you have to like rip a case apart, and they're going to rip your client apart, and it's like a battle. And they go into work every day, and it's like fighting every single day. And I feel like you guys have that ability. And that's why a lot of lawyers who are good at it and actually have the brain to make good arguments and are okay with the argument, they make a lot of money. The ones who are at the top of their game make a lot of bank. And it's because they're being rewarded, because it's hard. It's not just hard mentally to figure out a case, but it's also hard just to have the stamina and the endurance to go in and fight every day and roll up your sleeves and know you're like going into the arena and you're going to battle, and you're going to have to give it your all, and you might get knocked out, and I mean, not physically, but verbally and legally, by the judge and by the other attorney. So it's like, I feel that you guys are going to be rewarded for your ability, your willingness to enter this fight, willingness to enter the arena, the way you guys aren't afraid and you're willing to put your all into it. I think that's really beautiful. And I think we really need that. Like, especially people who are like soft and sensitive really need that. These people who have a really tough exterior and who are willing to put that fight in and like keep going until the end. Maybe some of you guys have started a meditation process, and if you have, I think that's awesome. I feel like you guys will be able to talk to your twin flame over there, and it just might give you a lot of the kind of guidance that you guys need, because I feel like a lot of this work that you're doing is something you guys prepared for in past lifetimes. You might have been a warrior in a past life, but this stamina, this endurance that you guys have, I feel like when you are aware of injustice, when you are aware of something that's wrong, it lights a fire under you, and you want to bring light to it. You want to bring it out of the darkness and let everyone know like this is going on. And I think that because of that, you guys are going to be rewarded. And I think that that is part of your soul mission in this lifetime. So some final cards we got are crystals, counseling, and writing. So we actually pulled author as well. And I had pulled out for pile one for another totally different vibe, but I put it back because I generally don't like to pull out a card for the pile right before that I just got, because I like usually remember to put it on the very bottom. Sometimes I put it on the top, and I was just like, but I feel like I should take that out. And then I knew writing was going to come out, and it did. So your spirit wants you guys to know so much that you guys are writers, that you guys have this ability. You guys have, I think, an amazing vocabulary and a way of speaking and a way of putting things into words. You might have an exalted Mercury, which would be Mercury in Virgo. It's also really good. Mercury in Aquarius is really good. Mercury and Gemini would be amazing as well. Um, there's a lot of different placements, Mercury in the third house, but I feel like you guys are just really great at talking. You might have a prominent Mercury, Mercury conjunct the sun or the ascendant, the midheaven. But I just feel like Jupiter, I just feel like you guys are great communicators, and maybe some of you guys have a book in you or something like that. I also feel like you guys would be good counselors. I feel like some of you guys keep up on stuff like mental health, like, you might like watch online videos about narcissism or about like toxic families or about self-actualization, but it seems like you guys are just highly educated and intelligent about different things, and I feel like you would be a good counselor to others. Even though you guys have a ton of natural protection around you guys, and I feel like you won't have to do as much protection magic as others, I feel like with crystals and counseling, it may be a great idea for you guys to kind of find ways to transmute this energy, because it's a lot of energy that you guys are dealing with. So maybe like a protective crystal like black obsidian or tourmaline, or maybe you could get a grounding crystal like agate or something. I feel like you guys need to find a way to kind of transmute some of this energy and kind of channel it out of your body, because it's a lot for anyone to deal with. But I do feel like you guys have such natural protection against this, that it's like you're in a way better situation than most people would be, but just something to think about to like help you guys even more. I also feel like maybe for some of you guys, maybe talking to a therapist or something, or maybe talking to any kind of spiritual counselor might help. Having like a psychic that you always go to or something might help. But I do feel like you guys are doing such important work, and your guides are so proud of you guys and so grateful to you, because I feel like you guys are doing such, like, I just keep getting so important. Like, I feel like you don't get the credit always that you deserve for how much you guys are doing, but your guides see it and they want you to know how incredible you are and how much of a difference you're making in this world with this work. Even though, again, a lot of people in this world are going to actually hate you as a result of it, or going to be mad at you and be like, oh, I won't not hate you. I shouldn't make that sound like depressing, but it's like they're going to be like, oh, I don't get it. Like, she always has to be upset about something in the news. And it's like, yeah, because it's like messed up and it needs to change. So your guides are very proud of you guys, and I feel like you guys are doing exactly what you guys need to do. So yeah, I love that for you guys, and I'm thankful for what you guys are doing for the collective. So I really hope it resonated, you guys, and make sure to leave it in the comments if it did. I love hearing your stories and all your thoughts and everything. So let me know in the comments if it resonated, and make sure to leave it a big thumbs up as well. And if you guys want to see more of my videos, make sure to check out my Patreon. Link is in my bio, and I have a bunch of videos over there. So check that out and join us over there. And make sure you're subscribed here too. And I'll be back soon for another video. Sending you guys so much love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye. Hey, Pile 3. So if you guys picked this Druzy Quartz, this is going to be your reading. So for your picket cards, you guys got the full moon in Pisces for give. And then for your tarot, you got 8 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, 9 of Swords, the Hermit, and 7 of Pentacles. So a lot of Pentacle energy coming through really strongly. And then we have some water energy as well. But I feel like you guys are really hard workers, first of all. You guys are willing to put in the work, which I feel like is a spiritual gift that not everyone has. You guys have that part of manifesting that is like discipline, because I think a lot of people get into manifesting and they just think literally they can just write anything and it will instantly happen, that like, that Prince Charming will just suddenly arrive at their doorstep, and they're not willing to go out and try to meet guys, but they're like, I am going to marry a prince, or that they are going to have their own company, but all they do all day is like just watch TV. And the thing about it is, like, we do need to actually put in the hard work. That's what allows spirit to really come in and make those dreams happen. And I feel like you guys figured that out a long time ago. You guys already know all these spiritual properties and rules and laws about having to put the work in and having to roll up your sleeves and put the time in. And I feel like you guys have got that part down. So it's interesting because then we have a lot of water energy. We have full moon in Pisces, and then we have the Queen of Cups. So you have this lovely balance between this hardworking energy and then this kind of watery sweetness. And I feel like you guys balance that out really nicely in your life. Like, I feel that a lot of people are drawn to you because you are that hard worker, but you're also not going to be that person that's like screaming at someone like you didn't get it done or whatever. You're going to also be understanding and nice and pleasant. You're not like a super hard nosed type of person. I feel like you guys actually are very much in a vibe of being very sweet and receptive and kind of, I want to say for my feminines, like divine feminine energy a little bit coming through too, where you guys, I think, are very pleasant to talk to. I'm hearing like great conversationalists, and I'm actually hearing this little bird chirp outside my window. I don't know if you guys can hear it, and it just flew right to my window. Because I have like a balcony. It was on the balcony, now it's like right in front of my window. And I feel like, birds have the most beautiful like sound when they chirp. I just love hearing like birds chirping, in the morning and stuff. And I feel like that's what your guys' voices sound like. Like, you have a pleasant tone to your voice. And when you talk, it's just conversationally like nice to listen to. It's nice to hear. So I feel like you combine this kind of vibe and this attitude of being, some people might even think you're very dreamy, head in the clouds. They might be like, you know what, you're not serious. And I know you're not working that hard. Because when they meet you, they may get that vibe of like, oh, this person just seems like such a Pisces. They just seem so chill. They just seem so like relaxed. And like, we need you to take this seriously. And you're like, oh no, I'm taking it very seriously. And they'll see, down the road when you have done all this work and like the effort has paid off and like you're making bank, then they'll finally get that, like, just because you're not that person who's going to be like screaming things and throwing things in your office and like throwing a stapler at someone's head doesn't mean you're not taking it seriously and you're not working hard. So you guys have a really good balance between getting your work done in a very graceful, I want to say almost feminine way for some of you guys, and just kind of doing the work, but like being very like relaxed about it. Like, I feel like you're the type that almost it looks effortless. Like, people might think, oh, you had it easy. You had stuff handed to you. You must have like just been born into a rich family because, no one would have been able to like, get that kind of position. And you're like, no, I worked really hard for it actually. Or maybe you were born into a wealthy family, but it's like, yeah, I was, but I'm willing to do all the work and I'm willing to put all the time in. So I feel like you guys combine, like I said, this really hard work energy. And we got the King of Pentacles right before the Queen of Cups. So these are such balance. Like, I love when King of Pentacles and or Queen of Pentacles and King or Queen of Cups is combined, because to me that's really when I personally feel like manifestations just come in so hard, is when you combine that kind of sweetness of the water with the hard working determination and slow and steady energy of a pentacle, of the pentacle cards, is when you are willing to like work hard, but you're also going to be positive and nice and combine it with a spiritual dimension. So yeah, let's get more cards. So we also got manifestation, we got strength, we got financial health, transformation, and finally truth. So yeah, financially, I feel like a lot of you guys are going to make a lot of money, and I also feel like it's going to be very unexpected for a lot of people. Again, so many people just see you guys as like, I don't want to say airheads, but kind of like they meet you and they get a really weird impression of you guys. And that's why I'm saying, I think for my divine feminines in this pile, it's because you guys may be very feminine and people might look at you and be like, oh, it's kind of like Elle Woods. I'm seeing Elle Woods in my mind. How when she shows up to Harvard, that scene where I love that scene where she's like in her little orange leather suit, which I don't even know like where she found that, like, who is selling that, and like out of her pink convertible with her like pink dog accessories, and she feeds him water and everyone's lined up outside of Harvard and staring at her, like, and they're just like, oh my god, she's such a joke. And I think they say that like, oh, she's a joke. And it's like, oh, and they tease her about like her sorority, or like, oh, did the shop run out of like clothes, is that why you're stressed, stuff like that. And she ends up being like the top lawyer. Like, I feel like that's you guys, where people constantly misjudge you and they think, because I feel like a lot of you guys are very sweet. I feel like a lot of you guys, when they talk to you, you're that person that's like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And honestly, I feel like for some of you guys, you might even have a high-pitched voice, or you might have a voice that, for my divine masculines in this group, maybe you just come off as very masculine in the opposite direction. Maybe you come off as someone that like, they're like, oh, they're just some like guy that's like a guy's guy. He's not gonna be that smart. He's kind of dumb. He's obsessed with football, because I know it can go both ways, some of the judgments people make on people, but Or like, look at him, he's a jock. He's not that bright. Like, he's a dumb jock. Hello, it's almost like both of you guys are judged for being like the football player and the cheerleader almost, you know what I mean? And it's like you guys might be attractive to others as well, so that might make you guys into this vibe of having a lot of jealousy from others, having a lot of people that are angry, like, well, they're super attractive, so they can't be that smart. And like they might, I feel like honestly, a lot of you guys provoke jealousy in people. And I feel like people will create narratives in their mind to make themselves feel better. They never really clue you in that that's what they're doing, but they'll secretly tell themselves stuff about you, like, oh, she's stupid. Like, yeah, she did well in that presentation, but like, look at her. She spends all her time looking up online shopping. She's not gonna do well. No, she thinks she's so smart. She's not. He's gonna figure it out. The boss is gonna figure it out in a few months. Or like, oh my God, he was a football player in college, and like, I don't even know how he got this job. He's not going to do well. He's going to be out of here. Like, and then they're just blown away by how well you guys do. So what they don't realize, I think I figured out a word for this energy, because I've been trying to put it into words and getting like examples, but I'm like, what is this? And I think I figured it out, that you guys are charming. You guys are that, you have a lot of natural charm. I feel like I keep hearing the French phrase in my mind, plus charmant, which I think means very charming. And it's like, I think that, the French have kind of mastered that. Like, they mastered the fact that, like, yeah, you can eat dinner at just a restaurant and someone can just throw a plate in front of you and just, throw all the food on the plate, and it's just like in a glob of like, here's your meat and here's your veggie and here's your carb, and just there it is, eat it. But the French, if you go eat in France, it's never like that. It's all so beautifully done. Of course, there's like downscale French restaurants too, I'm not saying that, but like most of the time in France, even any pastry will be done beautifully, will be made to look beautiful, not just to be like, oh, it tastes good. It'll be like, taste exceptional. They will go to the extra effort to get really good butter, or to make it with the really elaborate like pastry techniques. Like, y'all know I'm gluten-free, but when I'm in France, I make exceptions because I just can't pass up those incredible pastries. And the way, they bake it is just like, you can't even do it at home. I've tried to cook some of the gluten-free stuff like macaron at home, and it's hard. Like, they have all these little techniques that are so complicated in France, and they're willing to do it because they consider that to be a very important aspect of like the whole thing. And that's why people learn French food the world over. They're obsessed with it, is because it's so beautifully done, every aspect. And I think honestly, because I've thought about this, like, I'm kind of an overthinker, Pluto in the 9th house, but so I think part of this is because the French really, and also Italians, and I'm sure other cultures too, but they really respect Venus energy and they understand Venus energy. And I think sometimes people don't respect Venus energy. And sometimes in America, I feel like we don't, to be honest, if I'm going to be perfectly blunt. And we think like, oh, that girl who put on makeup before she left the house, she must be an idiot. She must be a bimbo. Or that guy who like slicked his hair back, he must be a total loser player or something. He's some cringe Lothario. And they don't realize that when you step into Venus energy, especially for a woman, and you are taking care of yourself and you are like, looking after yourself, that is a beautiful energy that leads to a higher percentage of like value for you. You know what I mean? Whether you do it to your food, your projects, like it's like when Elle Woods, what's coming to mind with her is like when she sprays her resume with a scent of her perfume and the guy's like, this smells really good. It's because like, I feel like Venus energy is putting beauty into everything you do. Not just like, was it done? Okay, it got done. Well, it looks horrible, but whatever, it's done now. Like, it's like, no, it needs to be done right. It needs to be done beautifully. It needs to be done in a lovely way. And I feel like you guys do that. And so I feel like sometimes people don't get what's going on and they think that you're stupid because you spend an extra long time on the presentation, or because you spend an extra time talking to the client in a really diplomatic way and you're very charming to them. And they think like, oh my God, what is she doing? She's not working. But you are working. You're just getting it done right and on point. And I feel like because of that, that, you're going to have a lot of your manifestations come true because you guys do every point right. And I think people will appreciate that. Someone who's rushing you and just trying to get like as much money out of you as possible and ring you for every, every dollar they paid, they might not appreciate that you're going to take that extra time to make sure that it's done correctly. But in the long term, I feel like your products and the stuff you guys put out in the world speaks for itself. And you combine it with like, you guys are genuinely hard workers. It's not like you're just in the Venus energy of like, I'm just going to sit back and chill and like, whatever, I don't really care. I mean, not that that's Venus energy, but Venus is like chilling and relaxing, but that's not you guys. You guys are actually hard workers. You just like to get it done right. Because like, if you go into those French pastry shops, boulangeries, they have the lineup of the pastries every single morning, elaborate pastries that in the US we would be like, what the heck? It would have to be in like the most incredible, store, like really expensive upscale place. But in France, you can walk down any street and pass a pastry shop like that probably. So it's like they are getting it done. They're putting a lot of work into these things. And for some reason, I don't know, certain countries I feel like don't have a lot of respect for beauty, and when they see people taking the time to make it beautiful, they assume like, oh God, they're not working. And it's such a strange thing, because I think when you have a really beautiful situation is when you have to have Venus in it, and Venus leads to abundance. And that's why people are also obsessed with France, and it's the highest tourism place in the US, is because it was built with a lot of Venus principles. And so all the towns are very beautiful. Like Paris has all the, little statues and all the fountains and random gardens, and just every street is like aesthetically pleasing. And then we have like brutalism over here in the US, which is just like throwing up a slab of concrete. And it's like, I'm not trying to go on a rant about France, but I'm just saying, like, there's a reason why, like years, centuries on, it's still the #1 place in tourism in the whole world. And it's because they went out of their way when they were building all of the cities to make it aesthetically pleasing. And I think we sometimes overlook that. I'm not going to go on an architecture rant, but what's coming to mind is like brutalism versus classicism. I'm firmly on the side of classicism. I love those old antique buildings that are just so ornate and beautiful, and I think most people do. And then when you look at like a brutalist building, which is just like a hunk of concrete that someone dumped on a street, and like windows everywhere and just horrible looking, to me, any day of the week, I would take that classical building that is just so ornate and elaborate. And I feel like that's what you guys do, and I feel like it's going to lead to a lot of abundance and wealth for you guys. So not trying to go on a rant about France or about architecture. I don't know where that came from, but honestly it's coming to mind as something that you guys need to hear, because I think sometimes you guys get down on yourselves of like, maybe I'm not a hard worker, or maybe I am frivolous, or you do get that hatred and that jealousy from people that, honestly, I'm gonna be fully blunt, they don't look as good as you. They haven't mastered the Venus energy, or if you're in your divine masculine, they haven't mastered Mars energy. So they're kind of like, they're kind of angry, that you guys look so good, and they're just trying to paint a picture of you that is not accurate, where, oh, you must be frivolous and you're not smart because you look good. And that's just so absolutely ludicrous that it's mind-boggling. It's literally completely just, it doesn't make any sense at all. I can't even begin to dismantle it, because that's how much it's like totally nonsensical. But yeah, so I just want you guys to know that keep your beautiful energy, because I think it's going to pay off. And you guys are, I feel like, incredible manifestors that can have whatever you guys want, and can have this beautiful, I feel like you guys are good at taking bad situations, because we got the 9 of Swords, and then we got the transformation card, and making them into something amazing and beautiful. So we also got the Hungry Ghost, Obsession, Scarcity, Consciousness, Attachment, the Resting Tree, Patience, Stillness, the Diamond Dreamer, Material Wealth, True Prosperity, and the Dragon's Jewel, Inner Conflict, Morality, Conscious Choice. So I feel like something you guys have as a spiritual blessing for you guys is this innate sense of beauty that you guys have. And I feel like you've kind of had to fight, in some of you guys have had to fight away from a scarcity consciousness, and have made the conscious choice to move into doing things really well. I feel like some of you guys had to go through a period where you didn't have a lot, where you didn't have the things you wanted or needed in life. You didn't have a lot of money or whatever this was. And so it's like you learned how to transmute that. And you learned that by seeking out things that made you feel happy and beautiful and joyful and luxurious and abundance, that you could call that into your life. And you also understand that part of manifestation is that resting energy, Venus energy. So it's like, again, I feel like you guys, I want to just, it's such a complicated concept I'm trying to explain, but I guess I could sum it up by saying you guys are master manifestors. You've mastered the art of manifestation. You know how to call things into your life that are good and beautiful and prosperous and abundant. And a lot of people that don't understand some principles of abundance might look at someone who's actively manifesting and think that they're not doing anything and be like, well, you didn't clock in and stay an extra hour after work, and you aren't running around looking raggedy, looking like, you have worked yourself to the bone and have stayed up all night, and you've been getting a full night's sleep. Everyone else here is like running around on 4 hours and just trying to survive. And you're like, yeah, and I'm doing that on purpose because I know that's not smart. I know what the smart thing to do is to come into an energy of accepting abundance, working as hard as I can, but also giving myself time to rest, time to recharge, and time to plug myself back in. I think in our culture, so many of the markers we have for like how hard is someone working is like, are they missing sleep? Do they look crazy? Are they walking around in like clothes that they wore the day before because they didn't go home and they just slept at work or something? And I feel like sometimes we really get triggered by people that seem to be taking too much care of themselves, which is so weird. Like everyone should be taking care of themselves. But if we see like a woman who has like really nice makeup on and she's going to work, people will make snarky comments about it and be like, oh my God, who does she think she is? Or, a guy who like really did his hair nicely and, has really nice fashionable clothes that look good on him and fit well on him. People will get triggered by that and people will be like, oh my God, he's so full of himself. And it's like, no, he's just maybe understands that, again, this energy of manifestation is putting yourself in alignment with feeling good, feeling empowered, feeling happy about yourself, feeling like, oh, I look good today. Oh, I look great. Looking in the mirror and having a smile. And I feel like you guys figured that out. And that's why I say you guys are master manifestors. Money is going to flow to you guys easily and rain on you guys easily. And other people don't know what's going on and they don't get it. And they're not supposed to. So don't let it get to you guys, because you guys are just going to attract a lot of haters on this path. Because I feel like a lot of you guys are going to have a lot of money. We have a lot of cards about money. So far, we got the King of Pentacles, we got financial health, and we got the Diamond Dreamer. And we have other pentacle cards too, other higher pentacle cards. So it's like, you guys have this path towards achieving so much money and having a lot of abundance. And again, anyone who's on that path, you are going to attract people who have nasty stuff to say about it. Maybe some of you guys are surrounded currently by people who don't have a lot of money and they are like, oh, she thinks she's better than us, she thinks she's so fancy. And it's like, I don't think I'm better than you, but yeah, I think I'm fancy, I think I look good, I think I'm happy with myself. And if anyone gets triggered by that, let them be triggered. As one of my favorite quotes, I always say it, from Kanye, and it is and if they hate them, let them hate and watch the money pile up. So exactly, let them hate and let them watch your bank account grow, because I feel like you guys are going to bring that in. I feel like that is something that you have as a spiritual gift. This ability you guys have to be kind of optimistic and go into like Venus, happy Pisces mode of just like being super chill, because Pisces really is that super chill sign that can be like happy wherever. And whenever they're in a stressed out situation, that's why it's the fish, because they can dive down into like a deeper dimension and just find happiness there. And I feel like that's you guys. Like, you guys might be in a stressed out situation, but you have a way of mentally going to a good place or making yourself feel good in some way. Or you're gonna like, you might react to stress where someone else might react to it by just looking crazy and deciding to not do their hair that morning and not put any on any makeup and just rush out the door and like whatever, but you might react to stress by taking an extra long time on your hair and makeup and, being like, I'm going to look extra on point for this meeting. And I feel like that is actually a way smarter way to deal with it, is taking that extra time out for yourself. And I feel like you face a lot of judgment. So we got cosmic womb, the divine feminine, lost compass, going back to integrity, overflow, overwhelm and plenty, jeweled web, connectivity, and mindful group think. So you're in a lot of people's minds. Like I said, you have a lot of jealousy around you. You have a lot of people that really don't like the fact that you guys, I feel like you guys just look so good. I feel like that is a gift. A lot of you guys have this Venus gift of beauty, and you just attract people. I feel, again, for my feminines, the divine feminine is coming through strong, as you guys really are. And I always associate divine feminine with Queen of Cups. I feel like you guys truly exude a vibe of femininity and sweetness and kindness and just like receptiveness, because the feminine never gives, it only receives. It never tries super hard. It always waits expectantly. And I feel like you guys figured that out. Like, you do put in the work and there's this lovely balance, but you're also like, okay, we did all the work, now it's time to let it go, and now it's time to keep myself feeling good in the meantime. And again, overflow, super, a lot of wealth coming in, you guys. I feel like, yeah, this might be, I feel like you guys might attract someone also who wants to give something to you and might even give you jewels or something like that. But I also feel like it's your work that's going to take you up to these levels. Like, you guys are putting in work that's going to bring in the right people who have done the same stuff as you, who are also master manifestors themselves. And even if you're not surrounded by the right people now, I feel like in the future, you guys will be. And, yeah, you're going to be surrounded with people that are more on your level, and you're not going to feel like you're lost or like, oh, no one really understands what I'm doing. I think you guys are going to find the right people. So we also got flowers, teaching, sensitivity, and study. So again, I feel like some of you guys might even come off as introverted to people, or people might, you might just be like soft spoken or something. I don't feel like you guys try to be the center of attention. And I feel like that makes you very intriguing. I feel like a lot of people have crushes on you guys. Um, I feel like some of you guys are very spiritual as well, and you give off that vibe. Um, with flowers, again, I'm getting divine feminine, and you might be someone who has a design aesthetic that's very floral or very traditionally feminine, or very like, what I don't know all the different names, but I'm getting like dark academia or romantic, or maybe cottagecore or something like that. I don't know. With this flowers, I just feel like you guys would have one of those more traditionally feminine kind of aesthetics, not necessarily like minimalistic or whatever. And if you're a divine masculine, just take what resonates and leave the rest. It could be that you're very masculine, you're the mirror of this, you're the flip side. But yeah, I also feel like you guys naturally, you have a very nurturing quality to you. You're kind of a teacher and a guide to a lot of people that come to you with their problems and stuff. This might also be why sometimes people think you're slacking off, like, oh, why did you spend 10 extra minutes talking to that client? Or, oh my God, you guys are talking again. But you really bless the people around you with your insights and like your quiet guidance that you give. I feel like you guys are just so supportive to everyone around you. I feel like you guys give a lot of love to everyone around you and a lot of kindness. And you pick up on other people's emotions, and you just kind of swim in these deep emotional waters. There's a lot of Pisces energy coming through, as well as Venus energy. So Libra for sure, and Taurus as well, Cancer as well. But could be all different kinds of cards, but those are the ones that are just jumping off the top of my head with this vibe. Gemini, I feel like I should mention for some reason. But yeah, I feel like you guys, you are putting in the work that you need to do. You may be studying at something or learning to grow at something, but I feel like you're that person that works under the water. Like, I'm seeing a duck paddling, how ducks just look like they're gliding on top of the surface, or for you guys, I would say more of like a swan, because swans are so beautiful and they're associated with beauty. like how a swan just glides on the surface, but actually the feet are paddling underneath the water, but you never would see it. And so sometimes I think people think that you're not doing anything, or like, oh, well, what are you doing? You haven't done anything, or you're not working hard. And you actually are super hard workers, and you guys have put the work in, will continue to put the work in. I feel like you guys like to be busy by nature and like to work by nature. You're not actually lazy at all, but you're also not that type that wants to be like drenched in sweat and looking crazy, makeup smudged. You are going to make sure you also present yourself well and that you're very graceful. That's another word for you guys, is graceful. And I feel like you guys carry yourselves, even your posture, your body language, like your gestures is graceful. I feel like people just, again, they see so much beauty in you and they're so drawn to you guys. I feel like a lot of people are fascinated by you. And it's kind of like on both sides. There's people that are so drawn to you romantically, and then so many jealous hater types coming out. But honestly, all of this is a huge spiritual gift from spirit. The fact that you guys embody this Venus energy, embody this kind of receptive, innate knowledge of wealth, and maybe part of your destiny, or you might have had a south node where you had to really build up money. And so now in this lifetime, you've mastered it and you're going to be able to let it flow to you really easily. I don't know, but I do feel like you guys just have a ton of capability in the area of wealth building and having a luxurious, gorgeous life. And some of you guys, I'm hearing, maybe you spend too much, or maybe people say this, like you spend too much time on social media, or oh my God, you're working on that Instagram account again, or like you have that TikTok. You might even think you're full of yourself. I feel like it's like, there's so much hate on like influencers or like people taking selfies, which I find so bizarre because I'm like, who cares? Why are you triggered by that? You should look into why you're triggered by someone taking a selfie of their beautiful face. I wish everyone would take selfies of their faces. I love looking into someone's eyes and seeing them look gorgeous. I'm happy for them. You know what I mean? So why are people triggered by it? It would need therapy. They need to see a shrink or something. And I feel like for you guys, it's like keep glowing up and lean into this. Lean into the fact that aesthetic beauty comes easily to you in all regards. I feel like how you guys dress, how you guys just innately look, how you carry yourself, how you move through the world, your language, the words you use is very infused with this Venus energy, maybe Neptune energy as well, ruler of Pisces. And Neptune is very dreamy, very imaginative. And this card, this crystal, is actually brings out imagination. Druzy crystal brings out imagination and creativity. So, it definitely could connect with Neptune. And it's actually one of the most aesthetically beautiful crystals. I think everyone kind of agrees with that. And it's sold really commonly in jewelry shops and stuff. So it totally makes sense for you guys that you would pick it, because I feel like you guys have an eye for beauty. You might say stuff like, oh, I always pick the pretty pile or something. And it's like, yeah, because probably your guides know that, and they're going to like align the readings with like, okay, here's the Venus pile that always comes through. So anyway, I love this about you guys. I feel like you guys would have such an amazing gift as like I don't know, like a wedding planner or like an interior designer, fashion designer, anything where you're I can't talk, designing the aesthetic of something. I feel like you guys have this gift for it. So again, don't let people make you think that this is a bad thing, or you are dumb or not a hard worker or any of this BS, because you guys are so on point with this and I love this. And we need more like upscale looking clubs and bars, because I'm so sick of going into like janky looking restaurants with no design style. So I hope you guys will go into this or do some more with this, because the world needs more aesthetic beauty. That's why everyone's going to France all the time, is because we crave it so much. So it's a genuinely beautiful thing to add to this world that uplifts the collective energy. When we're surrounded by beauty, we feel beautiful and everything's better. So that's why everyone always gets obsessed with things from France. Like every few years there's always some show that goes viral about France, because we all crave that. And I wish that we all had more beauty in our lives. I think everyone would be happier. So anyway, thank you guys for what you guys are doing for the collective. I'm sending you guys lots of love. Let me know if it resonates in the comments, and also make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I love hearing from you guys, so make sure to tell me. I love reading what you guys have to say. And also check out my Patreon. I have a lot of more readings over there if you want to see those, and make sure you're subscribed over here, and I'll post a video again in a few days. So I'm sending you guys lots of love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye. Hey, pile four. So, if you guys picked this green calcite crystal, this is going to be your reading. So, for your pick a card, you guys got first quarter moon in Sagittarius, believe in your good luck. And then for the tarot, you guys got Page of Cups, Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and Four of Wands. So, needless to say, a ton of pentacle and success energy for you guys. And I really do feel like you guys are the only pile that has all positive cards. So honestly, there may be something about you that's kind of like a Midas touch, is what I'm hearing. Like, I feel like you guys are that type of person that whatever you put your mind to, you can succeed. You might have had a hard time even figuring out career or deciding what you're going to do, because it seems like you guys could really do whatever you put your mind to. And maybe multiple people told you that, like, you have so much potential or you're so good at different stuff. And it's almost like, I feel like some of you guys might have a hard time just making your mind up of like, okay, I'm going to commit to this, because you know deep down that literally whatever you guys wanted to do, you would be able to. And sometimes that can hold us back from actually making our decisions and choices. Although I feel like whatever you guys do end up doing, even if it's not something maybe your parents wanted for you or other people would have expected for you, you're going to make it a success because you guys are hard workers. But I also feel like, something that's coming through is that money just, I feel like it just comes easily to you guys. And Sagittarius is all about good luck, although it can rule over other things as well. But it's an extremely lucky sign. And literally, you also got the card that says believe in good luck. So Sagittarius has other meanings as well. And we could have gotten the card for like, being a philosopher or being adventurous or the different things Sag represents. And I still would have picked up on this luck energy. But like, I feel like they're just really confirming that, again, like I said, Midas touch, money and success and prosperity is kind of like your birthright and just a spiritual gift you guys have. Maybe you guys figured out how to make money in a past life, and now it's just something you intuitively end up doing, because I feel like this life feels like it's supposed to be a bit of a celebration for you guys. And we got the Four of Wands, which is this card of celebration of like a big happy event. So it feels like you guys are supposed to be spending part of this lifetime celebrating good things and, kind of reaping what you've sown and having a good time. And so I feel like for you guys, so much of your success or so much of your gift is about this success energy. It's about this energy of Ace of Swords of like, I can do whatever I want. I'm unstoppable. You guys might be also full of ideas, because Ace of Swords can talk about new ideas and mental stuff coming to mind, fresh ideas and, wisdom that just comes out of nowhere. And I feel like you guys have a mind that's a lot of times brimming with different things. I could see this pile being like inventors or having different career paths, like they're this, but they're also that on the side and they have this side hustle, or they're on in this industry and they're really high up, but then they decide to pivot, go to a totally new industry, and everyone's like, what is this person doing? And then they end up succeeding at that. It just seems like you guys really are super successful. And I feel like with the Page of Cups, one thing about you is you guys have a lot of enthusiasm. You guys never lost your kind of childish enthusiasm, and you keep your energy for things you love. Like, I feel like some of you guys take time out to do things that you really love. Like, if you like ice cream, I'm seeing someone walking to like a neighborhood ice cream shop and getting their favorite flavor every week, every Sunday afternoon or something. Or, I'm seeing someone get really excited for their favorite band's concert and making sure they take the time out to go see it and to go dance and to go have fun. And I feel like that's another spiritual gift for you guys. It seems like this lifetime, I feel like for you guys, is supposed to be not a backbreaking one of like difficult lessons and just so much hardship. If that has been your past life, I feel like that, or your life up to now, I feel like that will shift and change at one point, because it does seem to me like this vibe, I feel like any tarot reader would say this vibe is one of more luxury and happiness, not hardship and difficulty. So I do feel like with your spiritual gifts, one of them is to kind of live this life of joy and abundance and things you guys like, and take it easy a little bit. Everyone has different things we we learn in different lifetimes, and some lifetimes are way easier than others. So I feel like for you guys, this is kind of an easier lifetime. This is supposed to be something that you guys get to chill. Maybe it's like, you know how sometimes, like, I feel like just people, you're like, why do they have such a peaceful life? Like, just someone who was like born wealthy, then they move into a really nice house, then they have 3 kids with a beautiful husband. And even though of course everyone has stress and stuff, it just seems like they just really have zero problems. Their biggest problem is like, what private school should we send the kids to? And should we order the grocery delivery from this gourmet grocery store or that gourmet grocery store? Or should we get it catered by our favorite restaurant? You know what I mean? Those types of people, I feel like that's kind of the vibe, like for you guys, that you're supposed to be in. And maybe you haven't had that kind of an upbringing or that kind of a life up to now, but I feel like that would be something that would come in later, because I do feel like you guys are supposed to experience that. And, it's easy to also get mad at people like that. And of course, if someone's being cruel and selfish and, just being very unempathetic to others because of that kind of a life, then that is a problem for sure. But it's also like, we have different lifetimes to experience different lessons and different things. And some lifetimes are kind of just a break lifetime. And some lifetimes it's like you're working really hard. It's kind of like how, in class you have, or in school, you would have, like English class at 8 a.m. and then math class at 9 a.m. And then you'd have science or biology, and then you'd have, art. And for, everyone has their favorite classes that they do really well. For me, it was like English and art, and history I liked too, and anything having to do with those kinds of like studies. And then I hated math, and I didn't like science either. So I was always like powering through math class, powering through science class, and then I loved being in English class, and I loved being in history, and I absolutely loved being in art, and I did like 2 hours of art a day. So I would always be like, oh, I'm going to art class, yay. And that class was just so easy for me. It was like taking a break. It was like, it was so much fun for me because I was in a really advanced art class, and we just painted for like 2 hours a day. I absolutely love that. And so it's like, that's kind of like how lifetimes work. You pick lifetimes sometimes that are so difficult with some of the hardest lessons, but then that pays off for your next class. Usually the, spirit kind of knows how to structure it. Spirit's kind of like that guidance counselor that will walk you through like, yeah, I know math is your weak point, so we're going to schedule, how about English next? And then you can go back to science next, and then you're going to have your history, or whatever your favorite subjects are. And so it's like, I feel like for you guys, this lifetime is like that English class for me, when I would walk in and I would be like, sweet, it's my subject. I love this stuff. And whatever it is for you guys, but I just feel like this life is about a little bit of a gift lifetime of, having success flow to you guys easily. So we also got well-being, closure, finding, then we got career, passion, and lighten your load. So I feel like for you guys, yeah, I really feel like what I'm getting is like, for you guys, a big thing in this lifetime is finding your passion, and finding not just your passion in terms of like, we think of like my life passion, like this huge thing, but like finding some things in life, or just finding about the little things you like, oh, that's my favorite brand of candles, like this is mine, or that's my favorite clothing brand, or I love the kind of scarves they make, or I absolutely love the like jam from this company, you know what I mean? And finding like little stuff that just makes our heart happy. And I feel like that's something for you guys, is I feel like a lot of you guys have favorite little things, like just some little brand that makes you happy, or a band, or a show, but it's almost like you guys, I feel like some of you guys have a very curated sense of style or aesthetic, where you guys will kind of shop around and be picky, and you find the things that work for you, and then you're very loyal to those brands and you enjoy that. I just feel like it's almost like you guys are building this lovely little life, and that's what you guys are supposed to do. That's what you guys are supposed to be having in your life right now, because I feel like you're supposed to find the things that help you fall in love. And I'm also hearing that will help you guys with this career thing, because also you guys are very good at making money. So you could almost be that person that like, you really like a a brand, and one day you slide into their DMs and you're like, hey, by the way, I'm a marketing manager, and I just noticed like your social media is XYZ, and like, would you want me to help you guys pick out a strategy or whatever it is? And maybe, they're like, actually, we're looking for a brand manager. Or maybe, you open a bunch of different companies and you contact them and are like, hey, I would like to buy a percentage in your company or something like that. Or I'd like to, help manage you guys or invest in you guys or something. Like, I feel like you guys are that type that you're very good at discovering things before they get big, or you have a very good eye for quality or for things that are just really well done. Like, people probably know to go to you and ask like, wait, what wine have you been drinking lately? Or what music have you been listening to? Or like, where did you get that outfit? Because I feel like you guys are very good curators of stuff. I feel like you guys have very good taste. Yeah, definitely luxury vibes. I'm almost wondering if some of you guys, I feel like maybe some of you guys had lifetimes of being like royalty or high up or something. And maybe that's just something that you still kind of carry around with you, is like this very exquisite taste where you deserve the best. But I feel like that is a spiritual gift because, of course, our thoughts become things and our thoughts become our reality. So I feel like the more you guys expect beautiful things to come to you and know deep in your soul that you deserve these beautiful things in this beautiful life, the more it will actually happen, and the more the universe will prove you right and be like, you do deserve beautiful things. So I feel like this expectation you guys carry, that the world is kind of an easy place and that things fall into your lap, is a huge spiritual gift that you carry. You guys also, I feel like, have always prioritized your well-being. Maybe you do self-care, like little baths and face masks and different kind of face creams, or maybe you have an elaborate skincare routine, or you have a fitness routine or a morning routine or something. But I feel like you guys take good care of yourselves, and I feel like that is a spiritual gift because you're tapping into that Venus energy and you're saying, I matter, I'm valuable. If you're not doing that, you guys definitely should be, because that's what this pile is aligned with. And so I feel like you guys are someone that you've almost chosen to lighten your load in this lifetime. Like, I feel like you've chosen, like, I've been through the ringer, I need to take a little bit of a break. So if you're still going through hardship, then this would be future energy coming in. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, you would already be in this energy of like chillness. Like, it just seems very chill, it seems very relaxed, kind of like this scene of just someone just walking through these woods, like just on a beautiful autumn day that actually is so pretty. I never noticed how pretty it is before, but like, wow, imagine walking through that in like the middle of autumn. Oh my gosh. But like, yeah, imagine a day like that where you like bring a picnic out to the woods and you're just walking along through the woods, only one in the woods, and it's just beautiful. That's kind of the vibe, like a lazy fall afternoon when, it's just a little chilly and the leaves are all turning and it just feels very relaxed. Like, I just think you guys, it's almost like your career success and this money you guys make will allow you to have this more relaxed lifestyle and stuff. So we also got the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge, insecurity, manipulation, the Resting Tree, patience, stillness, the Sun Dancer's joyful activity, celebration of life, abundance, and the Mapmaker of destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, free will. So, with Sun Dancers, again, that's talking about celebration of life and abundance. And I really do feel like this lifetime, it's supposed to be easier for you guys. I feel like you guys are supposed to have some friends, have fun. I feel like you guys are supposed to have like a social set that you just really enjoy, and it should be chill. It should feel not like everything is panicking, because I don't think that's the energy that you guys are aligned with. I feel like you guys are in an energy of very relaxed and very positive expectations. It's almost like I'm getting the vibe of like a woman in bed waiting for her butler to bring her breakfast in bed. And I'm seeing like marmalade and toast and coffee and a little egg in one of those egg cups. I used to have egg cups for that, and I only use them like twice to eat eggs, but I felt like really fancy eating them out of egg cups. But yeah, I would like love to have that kind of I love like curated scenes like that, and I feel like that's you guys. Like you guys would be that person that has like a perfect bedroom and the matching egg sets, and maybe even a butler or something. I feel like that's your vibe and your attitude, though. You expect good things out of life, and I feel like good things happen to you. I feel like some of you guys are genuinely lucky, and you really shouldn't overlook luck as an energy, because it really does play a role. I have some people in my life with extremely strong Sagittarius placements, and it's absolutely amazing how much things just flow to them so easily. I have someone who is a Sagittarius, well, has Sag Moon, and they just have the most luck with houses. If I could tell you some of the rents they paid, you would be shocked, because they got rent controlled apartments in two separate cities, and their rents that they pay are literally should be criminal, especially as someone who used to live like around the block from them and was paying like 3 times as much. So that makes me extremely bitter. But that's what it is when there's a Sagittarius moon around. Like they just have so much luck. And I feel like that's something you guys have, is just easy stuff. So I also feel like you guys, again, you're good at getting knowledge about things. You guys, I feel like you don't just consume things mindlessly. You're very careful about the things you allow in your presence. Again, I keep getting queen vibes. Kind of like a queen will always check out who is around her in her inner circle. Like she's not just going to let someone stroll on in and be a part of like her ladies in waiting crew. They have to be like from the right kind of family and be like connected, and they have to have been acting right. They couldn't have been like flirting with all the guys in court. They have to be like demure. And then if she really likes their personality, maybe they can come and like brush her hair, and it's like a big deal. It's like a huge honor to brush her hair, like one stroke of the brush. And that's kind of you guys. Like I feel like you guys, you take very seriously what's around you. Even if it's like a sparkling water, you're gonna find that really good brand. Maybe you guys are careful about what you consume with the beauty products, and the kind of which I highly recommend. People should be very careful and make sure they're only consuming like organic stuff on their skin, organic food, everything organic, non-fluoride. So important and such a game changer in health. But maybe you guys carefully curate that stuff, and you're not that person who's just gonna eat whatever and just, you don't really care. You might even, people might be like, oh, you're a really picky eater, and you're like, yeah, I am. Yep, that's true. But I feel like you guys don't really care if people don't like you. I'm hearing that phrase like lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. So if someone thinks you're bougie, too fancy, full of yourself, I feel like it doesn't really faze you. You're just kind of like, okay. So anyway, back to doing what I like. And yeah, you guys might, I feel like you guys have almost like a curated Instagram or something where you show off like a lifestyle that is very admirable, that a lot of people would kind of be envious of. But I feel like you guys don't, it's not that you're trying to rub it in anyone's face, but you're happy with your life. You enjoy it. You want kind of a peacefulness to your life. You want a relaxation. I keep getting that relaxed feeling. Like it's not like, even you want, sometimes someone can have a really nice lifestyle, but it's chaotic and there's a lot of drama going on, or even not drama, but just a lot of action, and it's always changing. But I feel like you guys want relaxed vibes. Again, I keep seeing very relaxed images, like someone getting breakfast in bed, or someone, I don't know, having like a little glass um of like bourbon, or I don't know, their favorite drink, maybe like an Aperol spritz on like a Sunday afternoon, and they're like eating their favorite olives and reading their favorite newspaper or something, and they're kind of curled up in their apartment or whatever. Like it's that kind of a vibe, if that makes sense. And I just feel like this is a gift for you guys, because some people really have to scrap for their whole lives. Like it's a learning lifetime for them, and life is so hard. And I feel like, maybe, I'm not trying to say you guys don't deserve it, because you do, and that's what I'm trying to get home. But also, like, it's good to step back and pause and be like, wow, I'm so lucky and I'm so grateful. Thank you, universe, for this lifetime. And it's like, you guys did earn it. So I'm not trying to make you guys feel bad, and you definitely shouldn't. You totally deserve this lifetime, and everyone has different lifetimes that they do different stuff in. So don't let anyone make you feel bad about it, but just, build on that gratitude and say like, thank you to your guides. thank them for, I feel like, the ease of your life, the beauty of your life. Because I feel like for some of you guys, you just live your life. You don't even pay attention to how lucky you are or how beautiful the life you live is. And that's something you guys made because you guys have an eye for beauty. So we also got Skybridge, possibility for reunion, Sky Dancer's surrender, Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences, whale song resonating, and joyful muse, inspiration. And I feel like a lot of you guys are creative. A lot of you guys have a very intense creative eye. And maybe, it's funny that the fact that I was in art came up earlier, and like class schedule or whatever. Maybe some of you guys are very artistic. Maybe some of you guys paint as well, or maybe you have arts and crafts projects, or you just love art and you like collect it, or you follow different artists, or you just dress in a creative way. But again, I keep getting this aesthetic vibe for you guys. I keep getting this highly curated life with everything on point, everything done well. And I feel like a lot of people admire that about you. A lot of people, I think, see this about you and think like, wow, I can't believe that this person is so it has such a great way of picking out outfits, that they always look good or they're always ahead of the trend. But it's interesting because I feel like you guys don't have a look that's like trying hard. I feel like there's a relaxation. I am getting, there's always some group that comes through with this. So I'm always mentioning it, but it's like what is it? Cottagecore, dark academia or light academia, all those things, like librarian, like I can't remember all the names. I always blank on them because there's so many different names. But you know what I'm talking about, like that aesthetic of, kind of like mossy greens and rust browns and like European vibes and like European dark libraries at dusk kind of vibes. Like that's just what I'm getting. Like I don't feel like you guys would be dressing in like the what is it, latex latex dress trend, you know what I mean, with like a bright pink dress of latex. I don't know, maybe some of you guys would, but I just feel like a lot of you guys, you dress in an earthy way, you come off as an earthy way, you have an earthy vibe, and we got a lot of earthy cards. So I feel like there's a groundedness to you, even though you're very aesthetically minded. You also marry it with like practicality. Like I feel like when you guys have, the really cute backpack that everyone's like, oh my god, where'd you get that? It's also like functional. It also has like different compartments, and you probably cross compared prices and stuff. Honestly, some of you guys would have careers, I feel like, as personal shoppers, or like trendsetters or tastemakers, or just like, because I feel like you guys are the first to discover things. I feel like you're that person that you'll do your research. You will find the best of the best. You're not going to just accept like, oh, they were handing out free backpacks at school today, so I took one. I don't know why they would do that, but sometimes they give out free stuff at like colleges. They did at mine, at least. Like cups and random like shirts and stuff, and you'd be like, okay, I guess I'll sleep in this. So, but I don't think that's your vibe. Like I feel like you guys would be like very picky about what you put on your body, and it's got to look good, and if it doesn't look good, you're not interested. We have a bunch of cards about dancing as well, so maybe you guys are really good dancers. I keep also seeing the image of someone with their friends having fun. So if you guys haven't found that cultivated friend group that I feel like you guys are supposed to be in, because I feel like that's another gift from spirit for you guys, is like your friend group and like-minded people around you. I feel like part of your destiny is, again, to enjoy this lifetime. So you're supposed to go out, you're supposed to have nice things to eat, you're supposed to have fun at restaurants and laugh and go dancing and enjoy life. Yeah, some of you guys are supposed to have really amazing romantic partners with Skybridge, possibility for a union, maybe soulmates and stuff. I feel like a lot of you guys have that. I'm hearing hit the life jackpot. So I'm seeing someone like getting like jackpot in a slot machine, which, you know what? Maybe you guys would be great gamblers. I always tell everyone with strong Sagittarius placements, I mean, I'm not giving any advice to anyone. I'm not saying people should do this. I don't gamble because I don't know. I have too much Saturn in my chart. I never win anything. But so I'm not telling anyone what to do with their money, but I mean, I will say I do think there's people with Sagittarius placements that could make a lot of money in Vegas, you know, because it's like they're just so lucky. They just have so much of that luck energy. I don't know, but that's just, I feel like you guys are lucky in general, and I feel like you are going to have those going out times where you're just with your friends and you're having a blast and you find your tribe and you find your crew. And I am seeing that image of like a slot machine like hitting jackpot, and I feel like that's your lifetime. Like you guys, some of you guys have really struggled in past lifetimes and had to build up and had to work for this and had to prove yourself, and your guys were like, okay, you deserve a break. The art you make, the perspective you guys have resonates with so many people. So I feel like these cards are study, travel, speaker, and infinite abundance. And I feel like you guys are supposed to find a career that really resonates with you guys, that really speaks to your heart and soul. So it's like in this lifetime, you get to kind of choose, like, oh, I like this. Sometimes in different lifetimes, you just got to do what you got to do, right? Sometimes someone doesn't want to have to be a lawyer, but those are their gifts and their guides are going to push them in that direction, or they don't want to be in the public eye, but their guides are like, you need to be, the collective needs you, so I don't really care if you're a private person, you got to get out there, or you know, whatever. But you guys get to really choose. I feel like this time it's really up to you. You guys are super good at a lot of different stuff, and really the sky's the limit. So if you want to be an influencer, you can. If you want to be a professor, you can. If you want to be a writer, you can. If you want to do travel for work a lot or do work in fashion, you can. I feel like you have so many options and you're really good at a lot of stuff. And I feel like that's a spiritual gift, is your adaptability, your ability to take a situation and really understand it intellectually. This very active mind you have, and this also deep intuitive understanding you have of different things. Like you can come in and read a situation very well and sum it up very well. Yeah, you have a very smart mind and way of synthesizing information and kind of taking something complicated and reducing it to like this major facts. So I feel like, again, your just success is kind of inevitable. It's like your birthright. And we got infinite abundance coming in again. So spirit's like, did I stutter? I told you guys. And so more money cards for you guys, but also like study, speaker, travel. I really feel like some of you guys might end up in kind of glamorous careers. Again, it might be one of those fields where everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe the people who work in this field, they're all so spoiled, or like they have so many perks, it's so unfair. But you know, that's, if that's your life, then that's your life, and that's what spirit wants for you. Then as long as you're serving your highest good, then that's all you can care about. And people can, you know, have their own lifetime stuff that they're dealing with, but you guys shouldn't feel bad. But again, just maybe remember like that you guys are really lucky, and just not to feel bad about that or guilty, but just to celebrate that. Like, thank you guys for this lifetime. I'm so happy. I'm so excited for this, and I love it so much, and I welcome it in, and I'm so grateful. It's not to say like you guys should feel guilty or anything like that, but it is to say that just the more we are grateful, the higher our vibe, the more it compounds, and you guys do deserve this. I can tell you guys earned it for sure. I mean, with Earth energy is 100% earned. Jupiter is not, but I feel like you have a great combination of those two, where you have earned this so much. You have put in the work, you have put in the effort, and it's paid off. And so now I really do feel like you guys might start a bunch of businesses and the money flows easily. You have mastered that abundant energy. And I feel like a lot of you guys have a very sophisticated taste. Like you might be interested in different cultures other than your own, international places other than where you grew up. And you might take the time to travel to learn about those places. And it might be very influential to people around you. Like they might have never heard of, you know, I don't know, a type of food until you post about it on your Instagram. And then they're like, what's that? And you can kind of educate them and be like, oh, I ate that in this place and it was so good. And, you know, this local culture makes it. And, you know, like introduce people and educate them in a really positive way, something like that. Because I feel like your mind is very intelligent, and hopefully you guys are able to kind of, like I said, synthesize this information and share it with others, and really bring people in to this beautifully curated world that you live in, where I feel like everything is lovely and nice. And I honestly think that's something some of you guys are building right now, and I do feel like it's going to pay off really well. And I definitely want you guys to invite me over for like lunch at some point at this place, because this house I'm seeing in my mind should be in like Architectural Digest, and I'm just loving the vibe. So I really hope it resonated. Pile 4. Let me know if it did in the comments. Drop it down below because I'd love hearing your thoughts, your stories, all of that. And make sure to give it a big thumbs up as well. And if you want to check out my Patreon, I have additional readings over there. So make sure to check it out if you want to see some of those. And then I post over here as well, of course. So make sure you're subscribed. I will send you guys so much love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye.